Hello everyone, welcome to Jolie's Blu-Ray review, and today we'll be reviewing My 101 Dalmatians. Now it comes in a double pack with 101 Dalmatians 2, which is confusing, but here we go. It's a German version, and this is what both of the discs look like. So we have 101 Dalmatians, or Dalmatiner as it's called because it's German. And we have 102 Dalmatians, 101 Dalmatians 2, should I say. So confusing, as I've just said, because the live action one is actually 102 Dalmatians, and I don't know guys, they sort of went wrong with the naming, didn't they? So, here's the first one, 101 Dalmatiner, as it's called. This is the side, it doesn't have the number on it, the back, and inside is the power disc. So it's region B, so if you put that in a region B Blu-ray player, it would play perfectly. Again with this one, it's pretty much the same, so it doesn't have the, oh no, this isn't a classic, so that won't have a number. The back, and again inside is the region B disc, and as you can see 101 Dalmatians 2 is slightly cheaper because it's a cash-in on the first one. As I've just flashed to you, this is, let's just close that, there we go. This is the back of both of them. They both look pretty similar, but this is the one I'm going to be focusing on the most, 101 Dalmatians. It's in German, so I can't really read it actually like I usually do, but the extras say, making of 101 Dalmatians, a trailer, radio and TV spots, and music and more, which is what I made out for. So now we're going to be concentrating on 101 Dalmatians. So moving on to 101 Dalmatians. The menu title shows Pongo and Party. Is it Party? I can't remember. It's just big versions of their heads, and it looks like it's literally been cut out. Kind of like that, but a little bit worse looking. It just looks terrible. It's like they didn't put much effort, but I appreciate that they actually used the dogs in the film. I mean, some title screens have been really boring. Little Mermaid one wasn't very good. Inside Out was pretty good, but I suppose this has been the nicest looking one so far, except for Beauty and the Beast. So on the menu is Cruella, the puppies, and well, at least it's relevant to the film. And on the left hand side is where all the menu is. It's transparent, so it doesn't block anything, and it's arranged neatly with like a Dalmatian spotty outline, which I appreciate. I like that. So the loading screen, whenever it loads anything, shows the puppies, and the music is quite jolly and happy. The music does get a bit boring after a while because it loops. So even though the case and everything is German, the menu is English. Everything else is English. When the text on the menu is highlighted, it's yellow, and the red's outline. Otherwise, it's black and white. So the first feature is play, obviously. The second is bonus features, and we have a making of first part. This making of, there's about 7 parts, and I got incredibly bored. So we see clips from the film, people talk about it, there's interviews with some of the cast including Anita. We hear about Dodie Smith, who wrote the book for 101 Dalmatians. And I skipped it, it was boring. So the second part, the director talks about the film. It doesn't have many songs in it, that's what the director says. And the song Cruella de Vil, which I really like that song. I think it fits really nicely. I like how the music producer came up with the songs. They even talk about adverts on TV in the film and how we use current adverts on TV. So I watched all of this part because I really like this part. Okay, so the third part is new tricks. And we hear about hand-painted films and they draw them and how they draw them. And basically a studio of animators and painters. We see Bambi being painted and the storyboard for it. Even though this isn't anything to do with 101 Dalmatians, we see other films and okay, I like this, but I wish all this stuff would be on the relevant film Blu-ray and not on another film Blu-ray, if you get what I mean. I would like to just see 101 Dalmatians and not 101 Dalmatians plus, what was it, Bambi, I can't remember what other films, but a couple of other films are on there as well. Okay, almost 3 minutes into this part, we actually see 101 Dalmatians. So for 101 Dalmatians, they use a new format to edit and animate, and they do drawings and paintings they used from other films. So there's dances, sequels, sometimes they use ideas from other films for them films. We see a short of something non-related, and okay, I found this feature quite boring. Didn't really enjoy it very much. So the fourth part, Animation 101, we see more drawings, and I don't understand why they didn't just put all the drawings together. Why not just have all the drawings together? Why do they need 6 parts for all the drawings? So we see the animators at work, which is always a good sign of a feature. I constantly go on about this quite a lot. We see them animating a movie, which I found really cool. An interview with the director, we see some construction lines and how the director didn't want construction lines, but they left some of them in. I like that. I think that's really clever and nice. We see, because it actually means they took the time to draw them instead of just using computers, because I don't even think they had computers back then. I can't remember. I think it's like in the 50s this film came out. Okay, Cruella drawn to be bad. We see shots of Cruella in different scenes. She's mean. We get interviews about Cruella and her animating style from producers and directors and drawings of her. And I love all the sketches and drawings of Cruella. And we also get to see the person who voiced Cruella, who designed her, how she moved, how she was animated, who created the poses and how she taught. This was one of my favourite features. I really like this feature. It does go on a little bit too long if I have to say something bad about it. So next is Sincerely Yours, Walt Disney. This is about 101 Dalmatians and who wrote it and how they purchased the rights. It seemed more like a documentary about Disney and I find it quite boring. It is sort of about 101 Dalmatians. Well, it's completely about 101 Dalmatians, but I find it boring. So we see more cartoon drawings of the dogs. Backward and forward letters to Dodie, which I don't understand why this is in the features. I mean, I suppose it's cool for some people to look back at him. I liked all the drawing boards of the cars and the dogs, but I couldn't watch all of it because I got a bit bored. Okay, so trailer, radio and TV spots. This was lots of different versions of, I'm not sure if it was versions of the film or the music in lots of different countries, including original release, Russian release and French release. So I'm guessing that's probably that versions of the film. The radio spots, I think that was samples of the audio. I don't really watch it because, I don't know guys, I got kind of bored of features. After that I got a bit fed up of watching features that I wasn't really enjoying, and I felt like I was forcing myself to watch them just so that I could do this review, and I wasn't enjoying them. So music and more. So abandoned music that wasn't chosen for the film, as well as alternate versions of the songs and the film, and there's 7 different options for the different songs. I didn't watch all of them because that took ages and ages. So then we have Scene Selector, which lets you pick a part of the film. it numbers it, it's in order of the film, so if you want a specific part you can find it and click it. Setup, which is languages and subtitles. Sneak peek, which was an advert for Cinderella. Again, why is this on 101 Dalmatians? I am sick of these sneak peeks. I am going to seriously stop watching them soon because they have nothing at all to do with the film. There's too many parts to the features that just didn't need to be there. Like I said, all the drawings could have been in one part. They didn't need to stretch that out over 10 parts or however many there were. We didn't need all the adverts. We didn't need all the sneak peeks. I got so bored of them because they started repeating what they'd said before. It was very clumsily laid out. It's like you click one option, 4 more options comes on, you click one of them, more options come on, and you're just like, ah, this is finished yet. Most of them were irrelevant. Okay, so now moving on to the film. The film is based on the book by the same name, written by Dodie Smith, and I will be reviewing the actual film. But right now, I want to tell you about how the Blu-ray looks. So I do need to remember that this is an older film, so it's not going to look as good as, say, Frozen might. But based on that, I didn't like the look of the backgrounds. I felt like it felt like they'd used sets for the backgrounds, and all the animated characters were puppets in that background, and there was like a puppet show sort of thing. I didn't like how liney it was. I mean, if you have a look at the Blu-ray version, you'll know exactly what I mean by liney. I don't really know how else to describe it. It basically looked like a sketch of a background with the amount of lines that was on it. And then with the animated characters, they look very simply drawn. I don't think the two worked together very well. And the backgrounds looked like they were more coloured in with pencils, whereas the characters looked like they were painted. But positive now, I will say it didn't look grainy at all. It all looked really sharp. It did look really nice, especially in the rain scenes. The rain looked really, really good. Okay, so now moving on to the sound. The sound didn't boom like in previous films, like say Beauty and the Beast with Gaston. That really boomed. And Little Mermaid boomed as well, but I think because this wasn't a musical film, that's why it didn't boom. But the voices were loud enough, the sound was loud, it was all clear. So guys, taking into account the features on the Blu-ray and the look of it, I give this Blu-ray a 3.5 out of 5. So now it's time for your opinions. Did you like the Blu-ray version of 101 Dalmatians? Did you hate it? And why? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.